All right, welcome to today's episode of Your Daily Scrum. I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. Todd Miller, who are you?
Professional Scrum trainer Todd Miller.
Reporting for duty.
He said duty.
We're here to answer your questions as professionals, Todd, professionals.
That's right.
And today the question, oh man, I can't believe you did that. I'm going to leave it in just so that people can shame you in the comments.
That's okay.
I'm sure they're all laughing. So leave Todd a comment about his joke.
I'm the worst.
No, you're the best.
Joking.
Here we go. You're the best around.
Lots of Karate Kid references here today. It's
clear I am wearing my
Eagle Thing.
I am wearing my shirt from the All Valley from 1984. Sweep the leg.
All right. Bet you can't kick as high as you used to be able to.
I guarantee I cannot kick as high as I used to. All right. How does a Scrum team build trust, Todd?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. And it's interesting to think about this because for a Scrum team to build trust, there has to be a lack of trust. And how many times, Ryan, were you in an organization as a Scrum team member of some sort and where you had the full trust of the world when you got started?
Every time. Never. You never have it. You never have it at the beginning, right?
Yeah, I think it's maybe because people inherently so specifically talking about software development, we've done a pretty bad job, right? Yes. We've made all these giant plans, and then they never come into fruition. Or when they do, they're not anything of what people expected. I feel like we're doing a better job of it now. Scrum has certainly been a catalyst in changing that. So is the whole Agile post the Agile Manifesto, but we still have a lot of work to do, right? Yeah. So with this lack of trust, what do we do? How do we build it? Is there a universal way? I think you know that I believe so.
I think there is too. The only way that I've seen that just universally builds trust is to deliver, right? I've even the most difficult of stakeholders who require the most complex plans. And by the way, just because we're doing Scrum doesn't mean we stop giving upfront plans and doing some of the legwork ahead of time to convince stakeholders that this is a worthy investment. Now, is it big upfront design? No. But in the beginning, with a new team and a new stakeholder and low levels of trust, you're going to have to convince them as a funding source to actually go along with what you're trying to do. And product owners, this is going to be in your area. But over time, as you deliver, prove that you're a good steward of organizational money and resources. Prove that you can be trusted with this epic responsibility of being the single empowered person in an organization to make decisions about a product. Prove over time that the Scrum team can deliver. And suddenly those barriers, those checkpoints, even like mandated forced dates, right? Like you shall release on this day, and these milestones, these things they tend to fade away. Is that the pattern you've seen as well?
100%. With overtime, as you deliver and build trust, a lot of those asks kind of disappear, and you can even come into a situation, and I've been in it before after a while, where you just go back and say, "Hey, we need some more funding." And I know it surprises people in Fortune 500 companies. Right now, sitting there saying, "Wow, that's really," yeah. But I think we should add some caveats to this delivery thing, because I completely agree that there is a single universal way to build trust, and that's delivering, but with some caveats: delivering early and often, and delivering with quality, right? Because when we're delivering early and often, we're testing our assumptions. And when we're delivering with quality, there's not a visceral reaction to what we delivered, right? Oh, here we go again. It's not what we thought. That's a piece of junk, just like everything that we've done before. And delivering early and often, seeing is believing, right? And we can validate our assumptions to make sure that we're heading in the right direction when people are actually using it, right? What do you think about that, Ryan?
Oh, absolutely. Except my little tag here was wrong. We need often. Deliver early and often. I need to learn how to type. So that was not of high quality. This new banner is. But yeah, through frequent delivery, frequent inspection and adaptations, we build trust. When we go into sprint reviews and we're showing immediate feedback from customers and showing how in the marketplace what we're doing is improving and being able to measure and manage to those things. Look, it's delivery with transparency is I think what we're talking about here, right? We're measuring the progress of our work. We're measuring, maybe we're using the EBM framework to see how we're doing in the marketplace and on our ability to deliver and our ability to innovate. And we're just showing that those capabilities clearly and honestly to stakeholders. And that as that trust builds up, as kind of what you were alluding to, Todd, the tolerance for, oh, hey, we need a little more funding. We learned something. Or, hey, this sprint didn't quite work out the way we thought it would. We learned something here. We're going to pivot a little bit. And here's why. Those conversations get simpler, right?
Simpler.
But it's through early and frequent and often delivery, but also high quality, still aligned with customers. It's a hard needle to thread, but if you can do this, I think it just builds ultimate trust with stakeholders and those involved with the development of the product.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think the one thing I will say in this regard though is don't rest once you're there, once you have trust, because I've made the mistake of doing that, and it can disappear like that, right? So we need to continue to work on ways to build and maintain that trust over time, because it just makes conversations easier. And you know what? It makes living the Scrum values much easier, Ryan.
Well,
trust, right?
Absolutely. And I think Scrum Masters need to remember the nature of trust. Trust is very transactional, and it takes a lot of deposits in the trust bank to build up trust, right? But it only takes one bad moment to clear the account.
Yeah.
Right. The distance between 0 and 1 in certain situations is enough to wipe out all trust between people. And so we guard that, right? Scrum Masters guard and protect that trust. They help teams make sure that they're delivering something each and every sprint that's of high quality. And that way we keep the deposits in the trust bank. We always protect that. Think of it like a bank, right? As Todd said, you don't let your guard down, you protect the bank, right? There's always security 24/7. We're making sure that's why we're clearing impediments and coaching the organization. And we're doing all the things as a Scrum Master we need to do so that your product owner and developers have a shot at that frequent and often development, because that's how we keep trust high. It makes the Scrum value. Everything flows from this, right? All the positives that we see in teams flow from delivery. So we protect that as if it were money in a bank.
Yep.
And you can take. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, were you going to say you could take that to the bank?
Take it to the bank.
Yeah. I think that covers it. I think deliver early and often, and deliver with high quality, and this too could be yours.
There you go. All right. Thank you for the question. This was another fun one that, we keep getting these awesome questions. You can leave them below, right? Comment section is what those are for. Comment section is for you to let us know what we can talk about next. So please keep doing that. Check out the socials. It's at Agile for Humans on most major platforms. Hit that subscribe and like button, because that is what makes Todd the happiest.
Yeah. Right, and you can take that to the bank.
Very nice. All right. Subscribe and like. Check out the extra videos below. We hope they help you as well. And I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. This is my good friend, professional Scrum trainer Todd Miller.
See you
tomorrow.